Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Kim with Oro CRM. We wanted to welcome you to today's webinar titled Behavioral Science of Your Clients with Oro CRM, brought to you by Scandiweb and Oro CRM. So today's agenda will be covering a short introduction followed by a customer case study, and then we'll lead right into a 30 to 40-minute demo brought to you by Oro CRM, and that'll be followed by a 10 to 15-minute questions and answers section. For the questions and answers section, if you have any questions that pop up in the middle of the presentation, feel free to write the question either in the questions or the chat box, and then when the time is right, we'll get to those as they come in. So without further ado, I wanted to introduce Scandiweb and Glebs for the introduction portion.
Hello everyone, my name is Vyacheslav and I'm from Scandiweb. We would like to thank all of you to find time in your busy schedules and join this for this great webinar. Our developers were asked numerous times to do CRM integrations for our customers, and unfortunately there was always a gap between e-commerce needs and B2B nature of regular or conventional CRMs. Finally, now there is a great solution, and it's Oro. It works for both large enterprises and for small businesses, and we'll try to cover that in our case studies. So it's not just simple and open source, but it allows you to sell more. So we will try to speak about that as well. And recently we did integration for a large enterprise. It's Peugeot, car manufacturer. I guess you're familiar with that, right? So they had Salesforce already, and then why they needed Oro, right? It's year 2016, and you can buy cars online. Even more, you can sell your old car online and change it to a new one, receive it for a weekend, and then buy it or send it back. Simple. However, it was a great challenge to do something like that from development side, and that's why the Peugeot used Oro CRM. So first of all, there were 5 different systems: Salesforce, marketing and sales internal system, external system like insurance provider and vendor relationship management tool, UX and client engagement tracking system, and all of them had their own database with different data, did some specific functions, and it was hell of a work to maintain. So now Oro CRM does all of it. As well, we created extension that aggregates needed data. It consists of something like 200 or more parameters included, merge them within a single customer view and send it to Salesforce, creates order, and you can send it in a minute. So it's that simple. There is only one admin panel at the moment, and you have everything in one place in Oro CRM. Of course, you can grant various groups different permissions and limitations. We are still in development process. Peugeot is happy at the moment. So far it looks great, and we will definitely keep you updated and share the outcomes as well as more information. Yeah, so stay tuned and check what we will share about the Oro and Magento experience. And now I will give a floor to Igors with another case study from Scandiweb.
Hi everyone, my name is Igors and I'm from Scandiweb. And recently we had numerous requests from our clients to implement some awesome custom features to Oro CRM. As Oro CRM is open source platform, it provides the developers with many options for customization. We can create the separate entity for each partner, which will hold all necessary information about him, including personal messages, emails, and calls. These data may be used for deep analysis or for visualization with charts. Also, in Oro CRM, it is possible to set up two-way synchronization from Magento to Oro CRM and backward to show your data updated and make it reachable from all platforms you use. One of our clients asked us to make Oro CRM environment more interactive with Google Maps integration. This custom feature will allow user to search for the segment or concrete individual of his interest in selected area. We may contact them straightforward in our CRM environment. One more point to add, that for more interactiveness, we may integrate built-in tracking module with the scoring system. This custom functionality is aimed to set specific score to each category on website. The user will get a score for visiting each category. Using this system, we may collect data about users' activity, as well as we may create segments based on clients' interests. So this is all from Scandiweb side, and you are welcome to ask any questions, and by the end of webinar we will answer them. And now I would like to introduce you Jerry from Oro.
Thanks, Igor. And I'm excited to see more of the scoring system of scoring customers by category that they've looked at. That's an exciting add-on that I think lots of our customers would be really interested in seeing. And I'll actually, in my part of the demo, I will show you the customer segmentation capability that exists and where the ability to segment customers by product category would exist within the out-of-the-box system and how potentially an add-on would look within the system. So it's my pleasure to talk to you, to give you a brief overview of Oro CRM, walk you through the system, and give you a chance to look and feel Oro CRM in a live environment. Now, what I'm showing here, given that Scandiweb has done a great job talking about some of the B2C use cases and the e-commerce focused use cases, I'm actually showing a demo of the product in a e-commerce environment, which could be either B2B e-commerce or B2C e-commerce, and it could also look as a multi-channel offline and online e-commerce, or a multi-channel environment, which again adds to the ability to really start to go further with your behavioral science because of the fact that you're aggregating data, customer information across multiple channels, both purchase channels and communication channels. Now, you'll see here that we have an out-of-the-box e-commerce dashboard, which shows you some of the statistics of what's happening within your customer base. This is aggregate data that you can start to view about your customers. Things like revenue, how many orders have been placed, how many of those orders have been placed by new customers versus returning customers, how orders and new customer growth has trended over time. Now, this is totally customizable. You can add and take away widgets as you like, and you can even create your own custom widgets if you don't like the ones that are out of the box, or if you have custom metrics to your business, you can add custom widgets through the configuration. One of the things, as the Scandiweb team talked about, that makes us really different from normal CRM systems is the ability to access and see a single customer view across multiple channels. and to have that view be unique to your business. So for example, I'm going to show you an account view. Again, in a normal traditional CRM system, you may see an account as a B2B customer. In Oro CRM, accounts are actually shown in whichever way you think about an account. So for example, an account could be a household, an account could be an individual, an account could be a B2B customer, and it may even change depending on the purchase channel that customers are coming in through. If you have a B2B website, a customer may be, or an account may be a business. If you have a B2C website, an account may be an individual. And so we allow you that flexibility to look at an account as you want to look at that account. Now, for this example, what I'll do is I'll just show you what a B2C customer would look like as an account, which I think is very unique in the Oro CRM view. We have an account, Alan Freeman, and we see here right at the top that Alan Freeman has a lifetime sales value of just over $10,000. And so we can see here that there are some additional contacts within his household. We have Alan and Lillian. We also have the ability to tag Alan. Maybe Alan, just given his purchase, his traditional purchase volume, is a VIP customer. And so we'll add that to his profile. We have the ability to automate tagging based on certain parameters, or have tags be manually added for at-a-glance view of what's happening within this account. Tags can also be used to do that behavioral segmentation as well. So the segmentation that happens within the tool can actually happen around the tags that have happened, or that have been put in place. Now you see here that we also have an activity stream, and activity can really be anything you define as an activity within your organization. So within the activity, you have the ability to add items that are important to you. I can add a note, or I can log a call. You know, if I talk to the customer from the customer service perspective, I can say call with customer, very happy customer. And I can say that it was an outgoing call. That was 5 minutes long, and it was added to our call. Now I also have the ability to send an email. I can send a custom email, or I can actually use a templated email. But if I just wanted to follow up on an order, I can do an order follow-up here and hit send. Now the nice thing about emails sent through Oro CRM is we actually connect with any IMAP-based email providers. So if you're using Google Gmail, or if you're using another IMAP-based system, we can connect with that system, as well as we have an integration with Outlook and Exchange for our enterprise customers, where we will actually bidirectionally sync email information between your email service provider and Oro CRM. So for example, if you send an email to Alan Freeman from Outlook, that will actually append under the activity within Oro CRM, even if the email itself wasn't sent from Oro CRM. Now we also have the ability to add a task for future follow-up. So if I want to follow up on special pricing, and I want to do that at the end of this week, I can do that, adding an email reminder to myself and a flash message reminder to myself. It will create a task, and I can see here, both here within the account, and as well, if I go into my tasks, I have a task tab where I can go down the list here and see that I have my follow-up on special pricing within the tasks. So it lives within my task tab as well. Now going back to the account, you also have the ability to log case information. So if there's a customer service issue, I can log that, as well as any attachments. If there's an attachment that I wanted to add, maybe a pricing proposal or some additional information we've sent to the customer, we can add those attachments. And then we have here, you see here we have all the order history. And you can, if you click on any one of these orders, you can see down to a very granular history of what a customer has purchased or what they've actually even had within their shopping cart. You can see here in the account view. So I can see what's actually, not only have they purchased, but actually what's even been in their shopping cart. Now, when we talk about some of the behavioral analysis, one of the things that's really powerful that we have within the system is our recency, frequency, and monetary value analysis, typically known within the marketing analytics industry as RFM analysis. And so RFM analysis actually scores a customer based on a scale of traditionally 1 to 5, but it can be 1 to 10, on how recently they've purchased, how frequently they purchase product, and what the overall monetary value of a customer is. And so we see here that we can see that Alan Freeman has been a recent customer. He's not a frequent customer, and his overall monetary value is quite strong as well, based on our scoring system. Now, the great thing about Oro CRM is we allow each business to uniquely set their own RFM parameters. That allows you to customize the RFM scoring to your unique business. For some customers, monetary value of overall lifetime sales value of $10,000 may be very, very high. For other customers, it may be very low. So you actually have the ability to set those parameters based on your business. Now, in addition to the tasks and calls that you have the ability to manage, we also have a full case management system within Oro CRM as well, allowing you to actually track tickets and cases as they come in. For example, cases can come in a variety of different ways. First of all, you can actually create a case with a customer service person. Or if a customer sends an email to help at or support at your website or order information at your website.com, then you're welcome to, or that information can be added into the case information here. Or if somebody fills out a front-end form on your website, basically suggesting that they need help, all of that can be logged within the case information. So we see here we have a customer who is having a problem with their order. We can go into the case information and we can see, because they're having an issue with their order, we can see any additional comments. We can also go drill into the related contact and the related account. So we see that it's Sharon Garrett within the Lawrence Garrett account that's having an issue. And we can see that, wow, they're a customer that spent about $19,000 with us over the lifetime of their customer interaction. We definitely can see that they're a VIP customer, and we see that they have really strong RFM analysis. Now, because they're a customer, I can actually look in and see what their order is or what their most recent order is, and I can drill into that information, and I can start resolving this case for them. I can log a call, I can send an email, I can add a task for additional follow-up, and I can go back to the case with this specific customer, problem with their order, and I can edit this once I've resolved this right within Oro CRM. So I can mention that I talked with customer, they are happy. I can take this from open in progress to a resolved ticket, and I can save and close. Now, once I go back to my cases, let's say a customer has had an issue with an order. I actually have the ability to add a tag that actually shows me what the issue might have been with their order. So if their order was a merchandise issue, I can create a tag. Oh, to be smarter than the system. Go back here. If the customers had a problem with their order, I can create a tag just like that that says this is a merchandise issue. And let's say this customer wants to track or this customer wants a refund, and let's say they want a refund because they had bad customer service. And so we want to tag this as a customer service issue. Now, if we refresh this, we can see that we now can start to segment our issues based on the types of issues that they have had. So if it's a product issue, we can see how many product customers have had product issue problems, and we can also see how many customers have had customer service issues. So you start to be able to track trends within the issues that your customers are facing. Are they facing issues because of your product, or are they facing issues because of your customer service, or are they facing issues because you're setting the wrong expectation on shipping and receiving dates, you're not communicating with them enough, and so this allows you to actually improve the process of your customer service interactions and removing the friction that could possibly show up as you're interacting with your customers, or if you have a certain product that you're actually getting lots of complaints that they're getting damaged goods, it may allow you to go back to the manufacturers and resolve those issues. We have lots of customers that are using this information to actually draw out reports and improve the customer experience and customer interaction with their system. Now, one other item that I want to show you is within your business, you have the ability, when we talk about these tasks and activities and sales processes, you have the ability to set up the workflows however you would like within the system. So for example, we talked about some of the task follow-up. We have a very simple task management system. But one thing we allow you to do is to actually make that as complex as you would like it to be. So some customers actually have very complex workflows within their organizations. And for those customers, and also they have very custom workflows within their organization. For those customers, we allow you to edit this information, to add additional transitions. You can edit any step within the task management system that you would like, and you can also add steps and add transitions. You can name the steps. You can take, you can actually say, I want to add an additional step from open to in progress. I want to name this step something. You can actually even decide the icon that you want it to be. You can have it show up as a pop-up window or a separate page. And you can, again, you see here that I added an additional step that may more likely represent the workflow that I have. So again, you can add steps to these transitions, or add steps and add transitions to your workflows. And create these workflows to be as custom as your business. So for example, I can show you, we won't save these changes, not a valuable step. You can see here that these can get as complex as you like them to be. So you see here a little bit more complex workflow. And this is a sales process that we could, again, adjust and change to whatever we wanted it to be. And you can name these B2B workflows. You can name these I have a B2C workflow. You can name it whatever you want, and you can actually use it however you want. to transition information across the organization. Now, the workflow capability is very powerful, and it's actually why a lot of people choose our product, because of the flexibility that it offers for each customer to create their own workflows and their own information that matches their unique business. One of the things that I really want to get to with our remaining 7 minutes or so here is the ability to actually create marketing lists and to do marketing, track marketing behavior and track behavior for marketing purposes. Now, one of the things that we do within our system is we actually allow you to track website behavior. So, for example, you will put a bit of JavaScript on your front-end website, and we will begin to track that behavior. So exactly what Igor said and the Scandiweb team said at the very beginning of the call is this actually allows you to go higher up in the funnel to track behavioral information and to give you propensity to buy information, or to give you a sense for where customers are spending their time. So for example, now that we're tracking top of the funnel information, this actually allows you to create reports and customer segments and marketing lists, not just based on what products people have purchased, but even down to what products people have viewed. So for example, I can see not only customers who have purchased a certain product, but customers maybe that have even viewed a certain product. And if I have a high-value product that a customer has viewed over 4 times, they are showing me propensity to buy. I can create a marketing list of these specific customers and actually tailor an offer to them based, again, not on the products that they've purchased, but on the products that they've viewed and where they're spending time on the website. This is one of the real powers of Oro CRM, and again, it allows you to understand customer behavior and action that data within the system. I'll go and create a marketing list just to give you a sense for how simple this is to do. And I want to reach out to, just because we've talked about recency, frequency, and monetary value, I want to reach out to my high lifetime sales value customers with low recency. And let's say I want to choose my, in this case we have a Magento customer list, but this can actually be whatever entity you would like. We have connectors with WooCommerce, we have connectors with PrestaShop, and with OroCommerce as well. And so you have the ability to choose the entity that you would like, as well as we have customers bringing offline data within the system as well, potentially ERP data or other customer lists that they have. Now, we can make this list dynamic or on demand. Dynamic means that that it is a constantly living list, so it grows and waxes and wanes depending on the number of customers that fit in it at any given time. And on demand is a static one-time pool or one-time snapshot. Now, to give you a sense for how simple this is, literally we just start typing and the fields begin to populate themselves. We want lifetime sales value. We want recency. We want customer's email address because we're going to send them an email offer. We want their first name and we want their last name. And then, because we want our high lifetime sales value customers, we can start to add field conditions. So I want my lifetime sales value customers that are greater than or equal to 1,000. And I want customers with recency that are greater than or equal to a 2. Because again, we want customers that have not purchased recently. And with that information, we can begin to create a marketing list. Now, I want to show you a couple of things while we're actually in the marketing list. So I'm going to add an additional field condition. We can actually go down to an order level. So you see here we're drilling in on orders. We want to drill in on order items. And we actually want to get down to a SKU level of what customers have purchased. So I could say not only do I want my high lifetime sales value customers with low recency, but I want my high lifetime sales values with customers with low recency that have purchased anything with the SKU 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in it, or any item that contains the name frame in it. Or, to Scandiweb's point, this would be a great, with their customization, you could just begin to start to look at customer categories. So I want to see, customers that have actually purchased anything with the category box. And if it's in the box category, I want to begin to market to them differently than how I market to other customers, because customers in that category are much more valuable to me or represent a much more long-term relationship. So you can begin to categorize customers based on where they spend time on the website, based on their behavior on the site, based on their purchase behavior, based on their lifetime sales value, based on how recently they've purchased, and any other parameter you care to track and measure. You can actually begin to segment out customers. Now, this segmentation represents a real powerful element within the system, because once you actually have these segments created, and you see here all we had to click was save and close, and we've got this marketing list of our high lifetime sales value customers with low recency, we offer you the ability to connect out of the box with products like MailChimp and .mailer to actually send your emails to your customers. So within those systems, you can actually create the campaign, send the campaign, and then within Oro CRM, we actually allow you a hub for managing all the campaigns that you send. And this is really powerful specifically for multi-channel merchants who may be doing some offline marketing campaigns, who may be doing some retargeting, who may also be doing some additional, several email type campaigns, or maybe some commercials. And you can see here that with the website tracking that we offer, we allow you to set up a campaign where you have a budget, a start date, and an end date. And then here within the campaign, you begin to see the metrics that are matter to you as a business. You can see the items added to the cart, how many orders have been placed, who's checked out, what they've purchased, and you can see all of this information within a really simple chart. You can see what's been happening. You can see even down to, similar to a dashboard view of the orders placed. So for example, I can see on each individual campaign how many orders have been placed, and hour by hour or day by day what I've done in revenue based on any specific given campaign within the system. Now within this, you also have the ability to run email campaigns directly out of Oro CRM, so we offer you that capability as well if you prefer to do maybe perhaps a more simplified email send where you're not using the campaign management features of a MailChimp or a .mailer. And then we also offer you the ability to do robust reporting, and you can do reporting based on any information that you track and measure within the system. So the way we think about reports is if you track and measure the information and bring the data into Oro CRM, you can start to do reporting on that data as well. And so, if I wanted to see my abandoned shopping carts by top customers using RFM, or my customers by geography, or my revenue by geography, you can start to pull out any types of reports that you would want. Let's say I want to see my daily activity summary report by rep. Which of my sales reps are actually logging a lot of activities or cases within the system. You can do that as well. So this just really gives you the ability to see your business in more granular detail. You see here I can see where my customers are by the geography. And you can turn these reports whichever way that you want. These can be line reports, these can be grid reports. You can have these, you can actually, through a bit of customization, you can actually turn reports into widgets that you show in your dashboard. And with our admin rules, or I'm sorry, with our access control rules and the ability to configure users, you actually can have different users have different views within the system. So for example, perhaps I want my executive team to have this specific view, but I would want somebody on my customer service or sales team actually to see a much more individualized view of the system. I would want them to see, maybe their calendar, their sales pipeline, the accounts that they need to access specifically. So you have the ability to set up access control based on what a user function will be. Now, within the system itself, and this is the last thing I'll mention, is the ability to configure it in any way that you would like to for your business. So you have the ability to set up the integrations that make sense. You have the ability to change the data that gets entered. So we have a full entity management system where you can actually change and modify how data gets entered and what data gets entered. We have the tagging system that's fully configurable. And we have the workflows and processes that allow you to, again, set up and configure the system to be exactly what you want it to be. As well as, again, we have the ability to set up the access layer how you would like it, so that customer service folks are only seeing the things that customer service teams should see, or that sales teams, a B2B sales team, isn't maybe seeing everything that's happening on the B2C website, or the marketing team has a global view of what's happening within the business so that they can make behavioral decisions around which information, which customers they should be segmenting and how they should be targeting. Or you can set up a dozen other different roles based on the type of business that you're running and what's important to your customers, or what's your customers being the users of the system. So with that, I will pause. There's about a million other things we could show, but I want to be conscious of time, and it does look like we've built up, Brandon, it looks like we've built up quite a few questions. So I'd love to answer those and just thank everybody for spending time with us.
Awesome. So without further ado, we'll get to our first questions. And the first question that we have is, what makes Oro CRM better than Salesforce, not taking into account pricing?
Oh, I love that question. Maybe I'll start with that, and then if the Scandiweb team wants to add anything, they're welcome to. The interesting thing is, I actually think there's a lot of things that make us better than Salesforce, and even notwithstanding pricing, which their pricing is night and day different than ours in terms of higher cost. But one of the things that makes us different is first of all, we have a much simpler starting point for e-commerce merchants and multi-channel merchants. Our out-of-the-box integration with e-commerce systems that really is a full integration actually gives people the ability and the simplicity to really get up and running between their e-commerce system and Oro CRM in a much simpler way. Couple that with the fact that we actually have out of the box within a single system, we have marketing capabilities, we have customer service capabilities, and we have Salesforce automation capabilities. Within Salesforce, you actually would have to purchase and use 3 different and distinct products to actually get those 3 capabilities. And the interesting thing is those 3 different products have probably happened across about 4 or 5 different acquisitions, which means that they're different underlying technologies, which creates challenges not only from a cost perspective because you're buying multiple products, but also from a complexity of integration perspective. So just to get those products integrated, for example, if you now start to use ExactTarget for marketing automation, plus Salesforce for the Salesforce automation, plus their their customer service tool for customer service, there are integration elements that happen between those systems before you've even done any integration to your own systems. And so there's just a level of complexity that comes with Salesforce that you actually don't see with Oro CRM. And because we're built from the ground up as a single product and from a single platform, that actually has just creates a much more simple approach, particularly for a mid-size e-commerce or multi-channel commerce company. We found that it's not just the price, but it's also the complexity and level of integration and level of customization that a customer would have to do. So, for example, somebody would get Salesforce, and you don't really use Salesforce out of the box from an e-commerce environment. You actually have to customize a lot of the workflows. You have to customize based on the integration with Magento or whatever other e-commerce system you use. And so just that level of complexity and sophistication is something that not a lot of our customers are really interested in. Not to mention that, adding in all of these products from a cost standpoint, and we actually end up being about 10 to 15% of the cost once you add all of these systems together.
Great. The next question that we have is, how much does it cost for an enterprise version on both the licensing perspective as well as the custom development perspective?
Sure. So I'll start with that. So the licensing perspective is very simple. It's $59 per user per month. That's how we price out the system. So a user is anybody using the system within your organization. And from a customization perspective, that really just depends on the level of complexity of customization that exists. So, for example, we see a lot of customers that are able to get started with a simple jumpstart package, 20 hours, 10 to 20 to 30, 40 hours worth of work, where they're really just connecting Magento. They're creating a couple of workflows. They're starting the ability to take cases and tickets within Oro CRM, and they're beginning to do some customer segmentation. And if that's sort of if somebody wants to use the system out of the box, that's the ability that you have, is to do that, and you can do it again with very little customization and complexity. Now, other integrations, somebody that has a more complex sort of set of workflows, and somebody, particularly when customers have more complex integrations, like, say, for example, they want to integrate with an ERP system, or they want to integrate with several different point-of-sale systems, or they want to do integration with inventory management or order management tools or other tools that may be key to running their business. That's when you start to see some complexity, and certainly that can raise the cost and time of integration, just like any other software system. The great news is that because of our open source nature of the product and the flexibility of the product, we actually have the ability to bring in data from a lot of different sources. So we can do those customizations and integrations, but there is time and cost associated with those. A lot of times what we end up telling customers is start small. Start with your biggest problem. Start with kind of a phase 1 implementation, get up and running, and then continue to progress and expand over time as you start to get value from the product and as you begin to expand from there. Now, given the fact that Scandiweb's actually out in the market, doing a lot of these implementations, I'd love to hear their perspective and if they have any thoughts or advice on that. Igor, Glebs, anything from your side on that?
Yeah, we definitely love that Oro is open source. We see exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and in Salesforce or any other CRM, you have to work with API, you have to know how things are done by other companies. And now with Oro, you can just check the code, see how it works, why it works, and extend something that your company needs. So that's great by a development company. I can assure you that.
Perfect. Our next question is, does Oro CRM offer any order management or processing functionality? If not, are there any third-party modules available?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's something we get asked about quite a bit. Order management is kind of something that I think just generally is lacking within the e-commerce world. So I would say there's a couple of different options. I mean, we have integrated with some of the more common order management and inventory management tools within the market, and there's a lot of customers that have integrated that data into Oro CRM, as well as there actually is a what is billed as an ERP for e-commerce product being actually built on the Oro platform right now. It's called Morello. I believe they're in alpha or beta at this point, but they will be integrated out of the box with Oro CRM, and I know they're working furiously to sort of get to a 1.0 release because there's lots of excitement around them as a product within our ecosystem. So we have done integrations with several inventory and order management systems, as well as other sort of full ERP systems. So for bringing in financial data or bringing in ultimate purchase data across multiple channels. There's I don't know that we've met a system that we couldn't actually integrate with and bring in the data into.
Perfect. And the last question that we have on our list is, what are the various delivery options to get the Oro CRM software?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We have two different versions of the product. We have an on-premise version. So the on-premise version, a customer can use in their environment, download the software and begin using the software within their environment. So that's an enterprise on-premise. We also have a SaaS version of the product. The SaaS or cloud version of the product offers you a fully flexible hosted version of the product that we host, and that allows you to get up and running very simply. The price is the same, either enterprise on-premise or with the cloud version of Oro CRM. It's $59 per user per month. And both actually allow you the same functionality and capability in terms of integration and customization capability. So it's really one of the key advantages for us as a product is we have this very robust cloud offering that does not look and feel like a traditional multi-tenant SaaS. We offer a lot more integration and customization capability. As well as anybody is always welcome to download and try our community version. So we have a free version out there in the market. It's been downloaded, right now over 100,000 times. We have 70,000 plus active installations within the market. So there's definitely lots of activity around our community edition. But we always say for serious businesses that are really poised for growth and running a serious business, we recommend Enterprise because of all the additional capability and functionality you will get within the system.
Great. So I believe we're coming up near the hour. I want to ask any last questions before we end today's webinar.
I think that's a no. I think we got all the questions. Thanks so much, Brandon, for walking us through that.
Awesome. And on behalf of Scandiweb and Oro CRM, we wanted to thank everyone for spending the time to join today's webinar, and we hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.